Trimester 3 to treat is all about preventing and relieving any back and pelvic girdle pain. So we're going to be back against the wall and we're going to start with some stretches. So with your feet hip width apart and just slightly out in front of you away from the wall, I want you to first bring your head back and try and tuck under your tailbone so your whole back is connected to the wall. And then peel your back up off the wall by first dropping your chin to your chest. Feel that stretch through your neck. Now allow your shoulder blades to lift off the wall. Now your rib cage. So you're moving one vertebra off the wall at a time, sliding your hands down your legs, hanging all the way down. And then as you come up, you reverse that roll. You press your lower back into the wall. You restack your vertebra, feeling the lower back make contact, the rib cage, the shoulders, your head. And again, squeeze your chin down onto your chest. Roll your shoulders forward. Slide your hands down your legs, rolling all the way down to the floor. And then from the bottom, reverse that. Bring your back into the wall, pressing your back. And then restacking your vertebra all the way up. Head, neck, and shoulders come out. And again, curl all the way down, rolling through your spine. Watching Meg as she allows the back to take on that rounded shape. And as you come back up, you keep your chin on your chest and you reverse. You press one vertebra at a time into the wall. Not letting the head pop out until the very end when your shoulders has dropped down by your side. And then you're going to take that into arm opening. So from here, your arms are going to come open wide. Your left arm first is going to reach forwards and you're going to take it all the way across your body and try and touch the right hand. Run that hand back up that arm across your body. Take it out straight. Right arm, bring it all the way around. Reach it over, try and touch your left arm. Run that hand back up across your body and out straight. Across, reach, run your arm all the way back and open. And again. So this allows that upper back to twist and release. We're going to move in both directions to free up any stiffness. Last one. Before you slide your arms down by your side, take this into side bend. So I want you to come down the wall a little bit more so you get even more connection of your back into the wall. Your left arm's going to come down, your right arm's going to come all the way up and over, and you're going to hold it here. As you breathe into this, I want you to stretch your right rib cage to the sky. Find some space in that right side to breathe into this sideways stretch. And with every out breath, we take that a little bit further down. So you breathe in to fill up, find some space, breathe out, reach into the stretch. One more time. Press all the way up into stand. Take it down the opposite way. Keeping your head back, slide down, find the space, the end of your movement. Breathe into the stretch, breathe out, take it further. Breathe into the stretch and further. Just creeping down, even just a little bit each time. And one last one. Before you bring it back into the middle, strengthen your legs to push up into stand. And then you're going to turn and face the wall. So you're going to be about arm's length away. So when you've got your arms out straight and your palms pressed onto the wall, that's your start position. And then you're going to hinge forwards by bending your elbows, keeping your heels down on the ground, and trying to get your forearms flat on the wall. From there, you're going to breathe out and you're going to press away. Breathe in, fall into the wall, fold at your forearms. Breathe out, press away. Squeeze your shoulder blades down by your side, long through your neck. And the emphasis here is on the push away. So you're going to fall in. And as you push away, I want you to lift baby away from the wall. It's like you're using your muscles to give your baby a nice big hug. Keep the shoulder blades working down away from your ears. Nice, Meg. And we have one last one. Hold it here. Bring your hands together now in front of you, and with your right arm, open up as far as you can. Ideally, you're trying to get a straight line from your right fingertip down to your left wrist. Breathe in to start. Breathe out, thread the needle. Take that arm underneath the left arm, bending your elbow. Reach underneath that arm, sway and push your hips back. Breathe in as you move all the way back up and through. Gather up that energy. Breathe out, twist all the way through and underneath. So you're again wringing out that spine, twisting through the torso, as well as creating space, working on strength through all those rotators through your tummy and your back. Last one this way, all the way back up. And then you're going to switch it over. Your right hand in the middle and your left arm stretches out and away. As you breathe out, you wrap that arm underneath you. Sway your hips back. As you come up, you breathe in. Now, all of these positions against the wall are really great early labour positions to be in too. Your partner can always help you in these positions to take any pressure off, using their hands to guide your movement down and into a stretch. And if it feels good, stay there. Enjoy the stretch. Creating space in your body is what a lot of this video series is about. Last one, Meg. Breathe out, twist through, weight back through your heels. And release all the way up. And then if you turn sideways on, we're going to take this into side bends and mermaids. So we're going to have our feet together. Arm out straight again, and the opposite arm is going to come all the way up and over as we sway our hips out to the right. And then we're going to bring it all the way back up and in. And again, pushing your hips all the way out, arm all the way up and over, and all the way back up and through. So you're going to try and create this nice banana-shaped spine. A lift of the rib cage off of the hips, so any tightness through your torso has a chance to just let go, stretch out. And we're going to hold the next one for arm circles. So we're going to press away, we're going to hold it here. That top arm is going to drop down, it's going to circle up across the body, up and over. Drop down, circle across the body, up and over. And again. Hold this last one here. Press down through both feet, bring it all the way up into stand. Turn and face the other way. So again, your arm length away from the wall, your feet are together. And as you bring your arm up and over, you're going to side bend, sway your hips out to the side. Maybe even look underneath that arm so you get a nice twist. Breathe out, bring it back up. Gather up that strength, breathe in, push your rib cage up and out to the side. Breathe out, bring it all the way back through. And you'll see through Meg, it's not only stretching this side, but working the other side. So you get your waist to contract and then relax. And again, holding this one, taking this into arm circles. So we allow that top arm to move around, the shoulder blade to just circle around the body as we maintain that side bend. We keep the hips moving out towards the left. Really good. You twist the torso up and around. And then if you come into that last one, Meg, with that left arm all the way up and over your head, hold into that stretch. Bring it all the way up and off the wall. Nice. And then we're going to bring it back into standing on your mat. So when you're in standing, what we're going to need is a mini loop or a band tied around your shins and a ball between your knees. This is the perfect setup to manage pelvic girdle pain. So you can do this when you're sitting at your desk, you're sitting at the dinner table. This keeps both the front and the back of your pelvis equally matched in muscle recruitment. So now we're here in standing, what we're going to do is bring the weight into the middle of the feet. I want to rock the weight forwards first into your toes and then backwards into your heels. Then go from side to side, rock onto the borders of your feet in each direction. And take a few moments to just press between all of those boundaries of your feet. so that you can identify the middle position with the weight spread evenly between both feet, underneath the front and the back of the foot. Now from here, just bend and straighten your knees. Just give me a couple of those. A real common thing, particularly in pregnancy as the weight of baby grows, is to lock out our knees and push them right back. So I want you to find an unlocked position of your knees, not fully straight, not fully bent, somewhere soft. Come up to your pelvis, hold your pelvis in your hands. And imagine your pelvis is like a bucket of water. I want you to arch your back, stick your bottom out and spill some water out the front of the bucket. Then tuck your tailbone underneath you, feel the belly scoop up, the tailbone move down and spill some water out the back of the bucket. And go again, tip forward, arch the back, water spills through the front. Tuck tailbone underneath you, baby moves in, nice Meg, water spills through the back. And again, forwards, arch your back, spill some water forwards and back. And then come and rest halfway between those two extremes, somewhere in the middle. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then from here, we're going to take this into heel raises. So you set yourself up in a neutral spinal posture. The weight in the middle of the feet, even though you're raising your heels. Each time you raise your heels, I want you to lift your pelvic floor. There is a little gentle squeeze into that ball. Simultaneously, you're having to put a little bit of resistance out onto the band. So that whole pelvic ring is in this snug little belt just by what's going on down there at your knees. Now can we bring in our arms? Breath out, rise, breath in, fall. Breath out, rise, breath in, fall. You're going to go straight up, down. Out breath, in. Now focus through the middle of your body. As your hands go up, imagine there you've got your pelvic floor in your hands. Lift your pelvic floor as you lift your arms. Lower your pelvic floor, lower your arms. Breathing out to lift, breath in to lower. Last 4. 2, squeeze that ball. Last one, rise up, all the way back down. Stand up tall and then sit right down into a full squat. So I want you to stick your bottom out, lean your body forwards, almost like you're going to sit down on a chair. And then from here, we're just going to press into the ball for 1 and then push out into the band for 1. You squeeze into the ball, press out into the band. I want you to think about wrapping your muscles around baby. Feel like you're giving baby a hug. Send the crown of your head away from you so there's a straight line up your spine. And then work on that lower body. Squeeze, press, squeeze, press. Because you're in a squat, you're maintaining a little pelvic floor tone, even subconsciously, you're not thinking about it, right? You're just holding this position. I just need you to think about your form. Your long neck, your straight spine, the action between the ball and the band. Last one of each. Before you press back up into stand. Now we're going to lose the ball and slide the band down a little way, just so it's above your ankles. And then we're going to take it into a slightly bigger movement. So we're going into a stride, almost when we're walking. So you're going to bend both knees, and then the right leg only is going to press back into the band and then back in underneath you. Just a small movement. So we're stepping. If you do get any pelvic pain with this, I want you to work on more of a slide. Slide or step back, slide or step in. The band there is going to recruit even more glute work. So it's going to just hold your pelvis together so that walking is not so irritable on any pelvic pain. And then we're going to bring in the arms. As that leg goes back, the opposite arm's going to come forwards. As that leg comes forwards, the opposite arm's going to come through. So it's like you're walking up your mat. You're going to swing your arms with your leg. We work on endurance. Get down nice and deep on that left side so you feel that load. You just have 4. 2, last one. Press up to stand. Straight into the other side. So you notice that both sides can feel very different. One side can move more or less than the other side. So just take a moment to set in with your intention of the exercise. Where's that strength coming from? Where's the movement coming from? And you can use your hands to help you keep the top part still. Always with that little baby hug through the top. So it's only the lower half that's moving. Try not to sway into it. Keep the top of your body still. Out breath press. In breath return. And then we bring in the arms. So as that back leg comes in, the opposite arm moves forwards. As it goes back, start walking across the mat. So you'll start to learn and see and feel how when you're walking, it's all about that weight-bearing side. So we're countering any waddling hips. We're taking those all away. We're making you super strong on one leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Stand up tall. And now we transition down onto the mat. And I want you to keep the band there in this transition. So if you come to the top of your mat, I want you to roll down with the weight out into the band. So you're going to press gently into the band as you squeeze your chin down onto your chest and you roll all the way down to the floor. Think about moving one vertebra over the top of the one below it as you come all the way down. And just hang out here for a moment, letting the weight of your arms and head fall away from you. Take a breath in and breathe out. And then slowly bend your knees, walk your hands forwards. We're going to come into a big C curve through your waist to stretch through your back once more. You're going to squeeze your left side of your waist, look over your shoulder and bring that left hip to meet your left shoulder. And then release, straighten up. Now to the right, squeeze your right bum up towards your right shoulder, look out over your right shoulder. And then come back through the middle. So if I was to look at you from above, you should have a C curve in your spine. Back through the center and the opposite way. Squeeze that hip up to meet your shoulder, look over that side. And just once more each way. Last time. And release. Bottom comes onto your heels, bring your hands onto your thighs, and then restack your vertebra all the way up. For our high kneeling set, you're going to have the ball between your heels. You want to have your legs in parallel, so not too wide for this one. Pressing the whole shin down into the floor. Press your feet down into the floor and then just push your hips forwards. I want you to send your tail down so baby lifts up and in. Now you can bring your hands together in front of your chest. Press your palms together and again, grow tall once more. Squeezing the ball, squeezing your bottom to push your hips forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out, twist to the right. Keep your hands in front of your chest. Breathe in, grow tall. Breathe out, back through center. And again, grow tall, to the left. Grow tall, back through center. Alternating sides. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. And that's going to anchor your lower body, so the twist comes from somewhere higher up. Last one each way. Shoulder blades squeezing down your back. Head floating off your shoulders as though it's full of helium. Last one. And drop your hands down here. Next, we're going to go into hip thrusts. You're going to sit all the way down on the ball. As you breathe out, you're going to pull your hips up and through. Your arms are going to press back behind you. Breathe in, sit down. Breathe out, press your hips through, arms down, rise up. So if you're familiar with a shoulder bridge in Pilates, that's what we're working on here. But instead of doing it lying down, we're going to do it in a way more functional position. So if you have any back or pelvic pain, this is the best position for you to be in. You can keep stability through the whole pelvic ring here, and both the front and back of your body stays active. Sideways on, I'd love you to notice that there's a straight line running from my fingertips to my bottom, all the way down, and as we come up, the spine stays straight. That axis is from the hips. And as Meg moves up, baby will move up and in too. You have just that reciprocal lift as you breathe out. And as you get your bottom working, the pelvic floor comes up too. In 3, we're going to hold. And our last one. Hold it here, ball squeeze, legs in parallel, small tiny little pulses down here. So I'm going to double check that my legs are in a vertical position. That ball is as squeezed as it can be. Breastbone lifted like I'm showing to you my favourite necklace. Shoulder blades drop down your back. Nice, Meg. Your head is right on top of your shoulders. And it's small, tiny little beads. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to think about that corset through the middle. As you lace up that corset, it's going to cut the bounce. This is just coming from the arms, the rest of the body not moving at all. And you have 10 more tiny little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. I want you to sit your bottom back onto that ball and stretch out into a child's pose. So as you sit down on the ball, your pelvic floor is going to get a nice stretch. You're going to slide your hands out in front of you. As you reach forwards, your bottom is going to come down onto your heels. I want you to lengthen through your whole back. This is a really lovely one if you're getting any back pain, for your partner to gently ease and stretch down your spine. Just stroking that length, creating that stretch from your tailbone up to the base of your neck. All right, we're going to make our way onto our side. For here, you're going to need the mini loop and the ball setup that we did in standing. So in your side lying position, you want to step both feet into the mini loop or your band that's tied in a knot. You're going to have that above your knees and the ball between your knees. So like Meg, if you need a little cushion underneath your bump, go ahead and place that there now. And once you're in a comfortable lying position, both arms should be straight out in front of you. You're going to take this first into arm opening. Your top hand is going to reach forwards and trace a straight line across the ceiling to wrap your upper body open. Reach that arm all the way back behind you and then bring your hand all the way closed. Go again, stretch, open that top arm. You may well feel a pull across your chest if that's starting to get tight. If you spend a lot of your time sitting at a desk, if you have kids already, there's a lot of that forward work. So the pecs can often get quite tight and lead to rounded shoulders. So we're fighting against that. We're opening up your back, opening up your chest, strengthening in between the shoulder blades. Just keep tracing that straight line across the sky and breathe deeply into it. Breathe out to close. Just one more. Holding this leg position, we'll just be starting to wake up the pelvic ring, the inner thigh and the outside thigh, reminding them where they need to work here and with symmetry. Now relax your arms at your side. Make sure you keep your waist lifted as we come into clam level 1, pressing open into that band. We're going to just hold it here. We're going to do 10-second holds. We're going to do 6 of those. So as we work on that static contraction, we're forcing the back of our pelvis to tighten and be secure for us. And relax, that knee comes back down. Squeeze the ball to work the opposite muscle group. And again, wrap that top knee open, pushing into the bands. Just make sure your 2 hip bones stay stacked on top of one another. It's a real good trick for this. If you do this lying against a wall, make sure that you don't push your bum into the wall. And relax back down. Squeeze the ball. And again, open up, wrap that top knee open, open, open. Breathe into that pressure. Keep the 2 pelvis bones stacked on top of one another. And release, squeeze the ball again. Just 3 more to go. Heels, squeeze, ball, let go and open up into the band. Release, squeeze the ball again. And one last one. Heel squeeze, top knee wraps open, hold it here and breathe. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1, relax it all the way back down. Now we're going to combine those 2. Your arms are going to come out in front of you. You're going to open up your top arm as you press open into the band. Just take your hand to the sky. Then you're going to close all the way back down. Squeeze the ball, press your hands together. Breathe in, let's open up. Breathe out, press into the ball. Push your hands back together like it's a big button there that you're trying to press down. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, shut it down. So with this out breath, you're going to see if you can get a little pelvic floor closure. As you close and lift pelvic floor, bumps should lift up and in towards you. Breathe out, press all the way. Breath in, open. And just give me 2 more here. The imprint of your body on the mat should stay the same. All the way down. Now maintain this ball squeeze. Press your palms together and we're going to work on the opposite muscle group into a static hold. As you squeeze the ball, you've got that handkerchief gather and lift through the pelvic floor and you're just going to hold and breathe. Release, let go of that ball squeeze. Let pelvic floor come down. Elevator doors open. And again, ball squeeze as firmly as you can. Press your 2 palms on top of one another. As you do this, we're going to pinch and close pelvic floor, and then we're going to create a lift with our out breath and maintain that lift. So pelvic floor lift and a breathe. 3, 2, 1. Relax it all the way down and open. And just one more time. Squeeze the ball, press your hands together. With that squeeze comes the lift, the second part of the pelvic floor, and the deep core contraction. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1, release, let it go. Now keep the legs stacked on top of one another as you take this into full level 2 arm opening all the way up, back and around, and a nice sweepy arm opening. So allow the back to roll and twist and stretch, the belly to open, the ribs just lift off of the tummy. And just holding it into an open twist on your last one. Looking back at your backhand, squeezing the ball between your knees to pull your hips forwards. And return, bring that arm all the way around. We're going to take it straight into the other side. So keeping your legs together, this is a really good trick if you're fighting through any pelvic pain, so any pain at the front or the back of your pelvis. To keep this little setup stops you from moving one side more than another. And that's normally the reason for the onset of pelvic pain, when one side's moving more or less than the other side. This stops that from happening. So once you're set up, maybe with your bump lift at your waist with a cushion, arms are out in front of you, We're going to come into arm opening level 1, tracing a straight line across the sky, wrapping that top arm open, squeezing into the ball, and then we're going to bring it all the way back down. Hands close. Arm opening all the way, squeezing the ball so that the hips don't roll back, and bring it all the way back down. So your feet should be in line with your bottom. You don't want that top hip to roll back as you twist your arm. So being up against the wall is a nice way to sort of stop that from happening. Or just having a look and glancing down and just making sure your hip stays in line with your shoulder. One more arm only. All the way back down. So now your heels are going to squeeze, the top knee is going to roll open, and you've got this static clam contraction. So when you hold it on a static, you stop things from moving too much. And close, release. Again, heel squeeze, top knee opens. So pregnancy effectively is a hypermobile condition. You're moving a lot as your baby grows. Your pelvis is starting to move, your back moves, your posture changes. And close back down. So these types of exercises are ideal. Heel squeeze, top knee opens, hold it here. And we use them all the time to help give you stability and control back in those joints that need it the most. And release, come back down. Heel squeeze again, top knee rolls open. You maintain that top lift without rolling back. And lower that back down. And again, heel squeeze, top leg opens up. Keep your waist lifted. Check in with that every now and again. Close the knee. And we just have one more to go. Heel squeeze, top knee presses open into the band, and we're going to hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1, and close. Now we do arm and leg together. We're going to take the knee open to the sky, the arm open to the sky. We're going to breathe out. We're going to shut it all back down. Breath in to open. Breath out, close. Breath in, open. And close. Inside thigh. Working to bring your pelvis together at the front. And your arm is just encouraging that movement across the body. So that closing down. One more time. And then we're going to keep the ball squeezed. We're going to close the hands down. So as we squish the front of the body, the abs will slide together like elevator doors closing at the front of the body. Shutting down the front stretch, drawing the muscles in together, scooping baby up and in. We're just going to hold that. And release. Two more times. Close down again. Ball squeeze. Hands press in towards one another. Give me that bump lift, that pelvic floor lift, so the whole front side of your body is working. And release. Open up. Last time. Ball squeeze all the way down. Shut down through the front. Hold it here. Press, press, press. 3, 2, 1, release. Now with that top hand, take it all the way up and over your head to one nice big arm opening. Drop your hand down and around into a big circle. If you just keep that ball squeeze between your knees, then it will stop you from rocking back off of your bottom hip too much. Allow that upper back to move and twist and stretch. And enjoy this last one with your arm all the way out and behind you, stretched out and open across your chest. Hold it here and breathe. As you breathe in, you want your ribs to breathe, expand and open east to west. Breathe out, let your ribs drop down towards one another. And again, breathe in east to west. And breathe out. And then slowly make your way over onto your hands and knees. So you don't need your ball anymore. I would like to teach you a little glute stretch on your hands and knees. So for that, we're going to need to take the band off. Place that off to one side and come up onto your hands and knees. If you take your knees just a little bit wider than your hips and then bring your feet in towards each other. Take your right foot over your left ankle and then push your hips out to the right. As you come round to the right, you should feel a deep stretch in your right bottom. Have you got it there, Meg? Mm-hmm. And then scoop it all the way around to the left, back up and through. Hips go over to the right, stick your bottom out, push your bottom down towards your heels, take it around in a circle to the left. It's a nice stretch for a muscle called piriformis. Can often be a real site of pain, not just in pregnancy, but with any hip and pelvis issues. So it's a really nice stretch that you can do regularly here. Let's do one more all the way round. Back up through the middle, uncross the ankles, and let's do the left-hand side. So the left foot crosses over the right ankle. You push your hips out to the left, you bring it all the way back, over to the right and up and through. Hips out to the left, stick your bottom out and down and around. Nice big circles round. And just one more time. And then releasing your legs, taking your feet off to the edges of the mat and come down into one last puppy dog stretch with your tailbone out behind you. I want you to, from here, think about letting go of your pelvic floor. We've been doing a lot of elevator doors closing and lifting. What about now lowering that elevator all the way down to the ground floor? All the way down. Once it's at the ground floor, open the doors. Imagine those doors get a little bit stuck halfway. Imagine prizing those doors open a little bit more, letting the pelvic floor just recoil into your sit bones. Bring your feet back in together. Allow your bottom to touch your heels. Walk your hands back in towards you, curling the body all the way up to sitting position. Nice work, guys. Well done, Meg. That's trimester 3 to treat.